Hello everyone, and welcome back to Somnambulist, episode number 4. It's been a calm, relaxing time so far, and I'm sure it will continue to be so. So,
right.
We'll do some intros. Well, we'll do I'll do my intro, which I totally have scripted and planned, and everything's going off perfectly as always. And we'll get into a little bit of a recap of what happened, and then we'll carry on with Somnambulist. So, hello, I'm Sheepdog. This is the Wandering Inn, and
I'm sorry, but
no, like literally, I said I'm Sheepdog. This is the Wandering Inn, and then I was like, did I say I'm the Wandering Inn? This is Sheepdog. Like it completely threw me off. So, Sheepdog, Wandering Inn. Nice to have you here. If you like the shows, if you want to support them, there is Patreon. That is the main way to get more shows, to get all of the things going, because currently speaking, the Patreon immediately goes to paying the cast members, and past that, it will go into art and intros and all those type of things. Aside from that, if you want to be notified, etc., there's the Twitter, there's the Discord. Join either of those, follow, blah blah blah, and you can find out when the shows are happening and all those type of things. Needless to say, there are some interesting shows coming up. They have been announced up in the cast Discord, and some people have expressed interest. So we've got nothing announced yet, but
you don't know anything.
There's one especially that a lot of people were interested in that I'm really looking forward to doing. But more on that when it's announced and when it's closer to time. Does anyone remember what else I'm supposed to say? I'm sure there's other bits and pieces.
Patreon? Patreon?
Nah, he already mentioned Patreon.
I mentioned Patreon, yeah.
Sorry, my dad was at my door for some reason. I was like, I'm busy, man. I'm sorry.
I'm trying to be a mage here, Dad.
I'm trying to do magic.
Excuse me, I'm a magical death mage.
Pretty much, yeah.
I think you mentioned everything.
If you like Mage, if you like the shows that you've seen so far, you can always check out the YouTube. I do need to actually change the YouTube name and everything, so it's actually The Wandering Inn, because currently it's just Sheepdog Gaming, which was quite a while ago. But yes, the YouTube has all of the previous shows on. So if you like Vampire the Masquerade, if you like sci-fi space opera, as we're drifting, we did a very short werewolf show that well, Vandy knows what happened in Moonkissed. We don't talk about Moonkissed.
We don't talk about Moonkissed unless we feel like crying deliberately.
Yeah.
It was such a good campaign, though. Just like such a good short run campaign. And if you haven't watched it, go watch it. It's like a slow burn. It's a surprisingly slow burn for like a short run, but like once things happen, they fucking happen. And like somehow, I don't know, like
it's impossible to explain how we did that in 4 episodes.
I don't know. Like it was 4 episodes. I keep thinking it was like 6.
No, it was 4.
And like, yeah, it was 4 episodes of just fucking top tier RP, truly, from everyone. Like amazing.
As you can see, we now have a place for the dice to be rolled. Technically speaking, that was supposed to be behind the image of Mage Somnambulist, but Sheepy gets so into GMing, he always forgets to do things like that. And I was gonna Oh, that's right. Just as a little teaser, and this is like way in the future, but for anyone who enjoys World of Darkness, who likes Vampire the Masquerade, I did a Vampire the Masquerade show called Sunkissed. I did a werewolf show called Moonkissed. We don't talk about Moonkissed. Now we're doing Mage. I've had a lot of people asking or suggesting that I do Hunter at some point. And all I can say is the next World of Darkness, or like kind of encapsulated style World of Darkness thing I'd like to do, I have no time frame on it, but I want to do Geist, the Sin Eaters. Because I really like the Geist, the Sin Eaters, like encapsulated world and everything. I think it's really interesting. And yeah. It's the only one where there aren't ridiculously overpowered supernatural beings. They're just random schmoes who have a ghost hanging with them. They're basically Alfie without, you know, power over life and death. So yeah. With that said, let's talk about what happened last episode. So, last episode, we had a little more instruction. We saw a tiny little bit of what the collective mages could do. There was a fight between Nell and Alfie, which involved building a giant mechanical spider. A lot of blinking around, and not too much actual. Obviously, you were instructed not to, like, you know, rip each other's arms off and beat each other with it. Yeah, no, you two are fine. You know, like you stuck to the rules. However, after that, and a little bit of downtime, Sesha and Kira's turn was up. And Sesha had decided to push Kira's limits via a little spell weaving, a little curse, we could say, jinx maybe, on a necklace that she gave to Kira, which I believe was intended to cause her to essentially go full power.
Yeah. Yep.
So Kira went full power, shattered reality and broke the wards between the reality and the spirit world. Essentially shattered the kind of like, I don't know what the best way to say it is, but like shattered the barrier between the place of spirits and reality, causing a big hole to open up, and through it came four big kind of like bone white, almost like golems, not really golems, but similar, and one shorter, also bone white and kind of dressed in like a kind of like bone white suit, with, I believe I described them as like radioactive green eyes, if I'm correct, and a kind of like a oval kind of moon face. They proceeded to attack for no given reason. And after a little bit of an encounter where Alfie built a robo badger?
Like a
Robo
honey
bear?
Like a badger Wolverine suit.
A badgerine. I like
Yeah.
it.
It's a pretty good name.
Nell displayed her ability to supercharge and throw teleporting telekinesis punches, I think is the best way to describe it.
That was really
Dope
cool.
as hell,
Well,
yeah.
Only for the fact that I wasn't telekinesis and someone now has 2 bloodied fists.
You fucking decked Moonface. Which was very, very cool. Sasha, after being flung 200 meters across the floor, got up and confronted Moonface, who, to remind everyone, just because, called her sister. And Sasha drew her sword, which is a very special and interesting sword, which had Moonface also draw his sword. Sasha's sword was bone white, and Moonface's was pure black. But they had similarities to them, essentially. At that point, Moonface decided to retreat or withdraw, and let's call them entities, the golems, were either destroyed by Alfie and Nell, or basically crumbled into dust. Oh, Kira. As Kira essentially dismissed them or desummoned them or something, essentially her power had somehow called them here to some degree. And as Moonface walked back into the slowly repairing reality, as reality was kind of closing back up and the barrier between this world and the spirit world sealed back up, Sasha ran over to check on how Kira was doing. Kira was starting to power down and starting to regain control. Sasha took back the necklace that caused all the problems, just as a hand, like a giant kind of like bone hand, shot out of the darkness in the repairing reality, grabbed Kira and dragged her back in, or dragged her in as the last shards of reality sealed back up and the barrier was back. So, we are going to kind of skip forward a little bit. Essentially, after that happened, class is pretty much over for the day. And Shelby has instructed you all to go to bed, get some sleep, and essentially you're going to deal with it in the morning. So, as you are all heading upstairs to your respective rooms, is there anything anyone would like to do or say or achieve before sleep?
I think Nell will have definitely left the room. You know the kind of meme where someone just keeps talking and they're essentially pushed out of the room because like the conversation's not gonna happen. Nell basically complains about like how unsafe it is right now and how like what just happened, like how are we supposed to just go to sleep and deal with this tomorrow, like one of us just disappeared and stuff like that, but eventually she'll know that Shelby won't give any answers, so head upstairs. She's not really concerned with Sasha at the moment because the whole weird family thing, that can wait, you know, that's not She doesn't feel like that's life-threatening right now. But there's a certain unease to Kira not being there, and like in the span of 5 minutes or something like that, her having disappeared and just being gone completely. So knowing that there may not be much sleep tonight, Nell will stop Alfie from essentially going into the broom closet again.
Pretty much.
And kind of stop them with a hand. Just say, I don't know what just happened there. Guessing you also don't know. That's fine. That's something we can deal with later. I don't feel safe here right now. I don't want to presume for you on that thing.
Yeah, I can't really say I feel too safe right now either. I think the only one who feels somewhat safe is Beta. So.
Right. I mean, what you did in there was dope as heck. But
Thanks.
I probably
You
won't
too.
sleep that much tonight. And I want you to know that if anything were to happen again tonight or in the future, that I suppose you always do that, but keep the necklace with you.
Is
And
she
she'll
being
point
quiet about this?
Oh no, absolutely not.
Okay.
If Sasha wants to like stop in the middle of the hallway and just listen, that's fine. Like
No,
she's not.
Sasha will probably walk past, but like is kind of listening to it.
Oh yeah.
And she'll just be like, "Oh, that's so nice of you,"
Um.
and then walks away.
Yeah, completely ignoring that. Sasha being a problem to deal with tomorrow. She'll point at the necklace with Beta in it and say, if anything were to happen to you, know that if you keep that on you, I should be able to find you no matter where you are. And I don't know if that's any kind of help to you, but it would be to me.
I mean, seeing as you kicked my ass, earlier.
Debatable.
I mean, I think it would be good if we were able to at least help each other out, because I don't know how confident I feel in my ability to take on more than just one of those things, and certainly not the other one,
Right.
with the sword and all that. So yeah, I think that's okay. Beta, are you okay with that?
With what now?
Well, I mean, if Nell can find us just by keeping tabs on the necklace.
Yeah. All right.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. And I'll just kind of like hold the necklace out.
Yeah, no, it's a kind of tracking thing. I don't need to do anything to it right now. It's an item that you'll always have on you. And I can find the item. And if it's on you, I can find you. It's that sort of thing. I'm not gonna track it all the time.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if you needed to like touch it or anything, you know. Some magic gets kind of weird like that, so
Some magic gets kind of weird. Yeah. I'll head up before Shelby makes a problem out of us not getting into the rooms yet.
yeah. And thank you. And your stuff was really cool too, the punching.
It's what I do, apparently. Throw shit and punch stuff.
And make shit disappear. And have like a black hole. That's kind of cool. I can't do that. I don't think. I don't think I've ever tried.
And I've never tried to make a sicycle or a giant metal armor or a castle to defend myself, so
I can teach you one day, maybe. If you want. The little archers aren't so bad, you know? It's kind of what I started with.
I think I'll let that be your thing. But who knows? If I decide to stay here after all of this happened, then maybe we can learn something from each other. That's what Kira thought, at least, before she... Yeah, you know.
Okay. Thank you.
I think I'm gonna take the stairs. And I start taking the stairs upstairs.
As you head up towards your room, Alfie, where you headed?
I was gonna go into the closet, but I realize I can't manipulate stuff in there. So I probably like would try to settle down and then get kind of irritated and then go up the stairs, find a door, with the intent of having like a room full of like metal or something like the old ship kind of thing.
Yeah.
And make like a little metal nest and pull a piece of like the big, you know, just like paneling of metal as a blanket and just kind of tuck in.
Just like smooth out a bed area and then just like grab a sheet of metal and just like
probably not even like smooth it out, like literally take like a bird's nest almost of metal and then like sit in it and let my body kind of like make a little kind of like indentation in it. It's memory foam but metal.
Yeah.
It's not memory foam. Memory metal.
Oh man.
It works if you have the right ability.
Yeah.
And as you're kind of like nesting, Beta says,
I think that was the least awkward interaction you've had since you got here. Well done.
You can't tell if you're making fun of me or actually being genuine.
Yes.
Screw you, Beta. Good night.
Good time.
and I'm assuming that Nell is essentially just going to crash.
You know the moment where you are like, I'm not gonna sleep, like I have too much adrenaline, and she, entirely convinced that she's not gonna sleep, walks into the room. She'll try to find a kind of like cloth bandage for like her one hand that has like a bit bloodied knuckles now. But she'll like pace the room and stuff like that, and just be like, "Ugh, this is not safe. Like, why are we staying here? Like, why are we not, I don't know, moving or doing something?" And at a certain point, it will just black out until she'll wake up the next morning, like having fallen asleep somewhere in a corner. Like,
Yeah. I will say as well, while you're still awake before you kind of pass out, you, because you do have the because you do at least have some talent with these things, you can, in a fairly vague and far off way, feel and sense the like repairing of aspects of the house. Like, you know, it kind of feels like it's right next to your face at the same time as being like miles away. You probably have the best idea of how this house works, technically speaking, in that it is essentially a regular house that has been adjusted and adapted in terms of space. So every door is a portal, every room is a possibility, and essentially the house itself moves essentially as required by the inhabitants. It's not an endless house, but it moves around, and rooms can shift and rooms can change as needed. A lot of that is to do with the control of space. So, you know, you don't know exactly what is being repaired or the details of it, but at the very least it feels like something's getting put back together a little bit. And Seshra, are you going straight to bed?
I'm going to go to my room and I'm going to close the door and fiddle around with the necklace a little bit between her fingers. And I will look around just kind of passively while like mulling everything that happened down there in my head. Just kind of rewind it and replay it, replay it. Every single little detail, the moon mask and the sword. And how she has absolutely no idea or control over what the heck happened. And how she expected for Kira to lose her power, but she didn't expect that kind of interaction from a being from the other side. And so now she's like, she's not angry, she's just very curious. And
I will say that you will pretty quickly notice the 4 dolls that you crafted are well, there's one left on the table with 3 more like burned up. Essentially they're just like kind of ash or charcoal. They're just like the remnants of ash, and there's kind of scorch marks on the table.
I'm going to look at the dolls, the scorched ones, and I'm going to like poke at it with my other hand while still fiddling with the necklace in my left hand. And it's all just ashes, right? Like 3 of them.
Apologies. There'd be 2 on the table burned up.
2 on the table.
1 on
burned
the
up.
floor,
Okay.
And then 1 left over because you didn't make one for yourself. Obviously.
Can I distinguish, because I made them, I know that they're burnt up, but can I distinguish which ones were which?
The floor one is Shelby.
Okay. And then the 2 on the table
are Alfie and Nell. The one left is Kira.
And the Kira one is completely gone, or?
It's there.
It's there? It's alive?
Well, I mean, it's not
Well, alive, but like it's It's not charred.
It's not charred. It's intact.
I will pick it up and kind of like observe it and see if there's anything noticeable that changed on it. Nothing changed?
Nothing changed. Although,
Okay.
as you pick it up, you do hear... Hello? From behind you.
Hello? I won't turn around, but I'll say hello.
You hear like it's actually like a couple of footsteps, not coming closer to you, just kind of like moving off to the side. Is this your room?
I wouldn't really call it mine, but it's where I'm currently staying.
It's nice. It's a little rundown.
Well, that's always in the eye of the beholder, isn't it?
Yes.
All right. I will slowly set down the Kira doll on the table next to the two that are like ashes. And I will slowly, kind of like nonchalantly turn my head to where I can hear the voice.
As essentially a dark, fuzzy shadow. There's enough light in here for you to see. It is the figure of a fairly small person.
Mm-hmm.
The makeup of which is kind of like it's almost like if you took a pencil and you just scratched left and right and tried to make a person.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
very fuzzy, very unclear. No like distinguishing features or anything.
I will then say, where's your room?
A lot further up.
And what does it look like? Not as run down. Hmm?
No, it's just a room, I think. It has a bed, has some drawers, a cupboard, mirror.
Mm-hmm. Well, mirror's always important. You have to look your best.
Yeah.
Would you like some tea?
I'm not allowed tea.
And why's that?
I'm not old enough.
You're not old enough. Well,
Apparently it makes me excitable.
oh. Well, it helps me calm my nerves. Would you like some hot chocolate?
Okay.
She will find a bin she will start heating up some water or whatnot, and she will get out 2 cups, and she'll kind of like on the side of her eye kind of watch this figure and kind of observe what they're doing, and will casually find like a wastebasket or like some kind of jar or something and whatnot, and she will like nonchalantly like it's nothing, just kind of like put it next to the table and just kind of go and put all of like the dolls in the basket and kind of like take her foot and kind of like slide it to like the side.
As you're like working and keeping a side eye on this thing, it or he sits down on the floor, like kind of by the window. You have a tough day?
No. I didn't have a tough day, but I think some other people who's staying in this house did.
Okay.
Why?
I was just wondering. It seemed like there was a lot happening today.
Oh, were you watching?
No.
Then how do you know?
I don't know. I guess I just do.
Well, how could you know of something if you didn't witness it?
I guess, you know, like dinosaurs, and like
Yes.
how we don't know, how we never witnessed dinosaurs, but we saw the remnants of dinosaurs, and therefore we know that dinosaurs are a thing.
Yes.
I think it's like that.
Well, I mean, I kind of like know that it happened.
Right. Exactly. That's what I mean.
No. Like, I mean, like I can control time.
Oh.
So like, yeah.
You went back and saw dinosaurs?
Well, I had to have the assistance of Baba and whatnot.
Could you bring a dinosaur back to here? Like, could you go back and get a dinosaur? Because I've always wanted to see a Triceratops.
Oh. Well, unfortunately, I can't. I am not strong enough by myself to bring forth a dinosaur. But
Okay.
and she looks at the trash can. I'm not strong enough to bring back a dinosaur by myself. But with help, but that wasn't a dinosaur.
What wasn't a dinosaur?
Huh? Oh.
What wasn't a dinosaur?
Oh, just what one of the people here, she had red hair. She has this little thing with like animal spirits and stuff.
Kira?
And she could Yes, Kira. You know her?
I didn't meet her.
Oh. That's a shame. She was really nice.
Okay.
Yes, so your hot chocolate is ready.
Thank you.
And I will start silently crushing the bottle or the necklace in my hand.
The with the flower in
The
it.
necklace with the flower in it. I will start slowly crushing it.
Sorry, I didn't mean to intrude.
Oh, no, you're not at all. You are more than welcome to come and visit. It gets so lonely in this big house. I tried to have a roommate, but they were totally against it. It was really sad, actually.
They have their own room.
Well, they do, but at the same time, it's so much more fun when you have somebody to have a room to share.
I guess so.
Well, how about this? Whenever you feel lonely, you can share my room.
That'd be nice. And I can come and talk to you when you're sad.
Yeah. Or just, just talk to me if you're sad or need to talk to someone.
Okay. Thank you for the hot chocolates.
You're welcome.
Call for me if you need me, and I might be able to come and say hello again.
What should I call you by?
And name's Kojo.
Kilja. Well, it's pleased to meet you. I'm Sesha.
I know. Her name's on the door.
Oh, yes. Did you knock?
No?
You should knock next time.
Okay.
Just, it's just polite.
Knock next time. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'll see you around, Kilja.
There's like a... on the outside of your door.
Is he still there?
Yep.
I will go ahead and I will open it.
Okay, you go to open the door, and no one's there. And if you turn back around, Kilja's not there.
I will shut the door and say to myself, that will be another avenue to explore. For now, I am absolutely exhausted. And Shia will walk past the wastebasket and dump the broken necklace and everything, pieces in it.
Okay.
And then she will take a match and she's going to throw it in the bin.
Okay.
That had the doll with Kira.
Light the match and...
Yeah.
The,
But as she does that,
okay.
she waits for a little bit. And then she quickly takes Kira's doll out.
Alright. Everything else goes up. And you all sleep. And you all wake up in the morning. For Nell and for Alfie, it is a regular wake up. You wake up to a very low humming from Alfie, from Beta Alfie. Nothing intrusive, just kind of disjointed, disconnected, kind of maybe distracted humming. Nell, your room is pretty basic. You wake up. Sesha, you wake up to pretty much a normal room. There's a slight smell of acrid smoke still lingering because you set fire to a bin.
Mm-hmm.
You will immediately notice that in the corner, there is a slightly tendrilled, expanded, and it looks like it's kind of dug into the corner of the room, and kind of spread across the wall a little bit. Plant.
Oh, the plant that Kira made grow, that I made a necklace out of.
No.
No?
This is not that plant. It is quite small, and has almost like a curved kind of a stem, that comes out from the corner of the wall, and there's just one big red flower, kind of crimson. In like a kind of bell shape.
I will walk or get up out of my bed, a little drowsy. Walk towards it with the doll of Kira, and I will examine it, and I'm gonna poke it really gently.
It just kind of moves as you poke up, little shake.
I will set the doll next to the flower and stand up and turn around and say, "So are you dead or are you not dead?" And then that's it.
Okay. So, I would assume everyone would head towards breakfast.
Yes.
So, essentially, Sesha, due to your abilities, let's say, you can pretty much wake up whenever you want.
Mm-hmm.
So it would depend whether you're like first up and off in the kitchen first or what. But
I would I guess I would probably be. I would really be early, but I'd be like I'd be at just the right time where they were ready to come downstairs. If that makes sense.
Okay. Well, let us say that there is a general consensus of food around about the same time where everyone goes into the kitchen to sort themselves out something to eat.
Yeah.
So the three of you find yourselves, I'm going to say, a little bit awkwardly and possibly a bit silently, depending on how much Sesha wants to, in the kitchen.
Good morning.
I just go over to the pantry and see what's in there. Almost just like I like there's an acknowledgement, but not enough to just be like to continue the conversation, I think.
Yeah.
I get like cereal out and just start pouring myself a bowl.
Good is debatable.
Well, it's a new day. Is that not good?
That's not the only thing you base good morning on, but sure.
And she will sit there and she will sip her coffee.
Alfie grabs 2 spoons from the drawer, puts one into the bowl, and kind of takes the other one and crunches it up into a ball.
Yeah.
And starts kind of like playing with it like Play-Doh. And like just absentmindedly, and then goes to sit down and starts kind of like molding it into a small like starts molding it over her fingers kind of thing.
Yeah.
And just kind of like playing around with it and seeing how it kind of like moves and fits.
I think while we're establishing what kind of breakfast person each of us is, I think Nella's the kind of just take an apple breakfast kind of person. So she'll take that, and whilst the other two sit, I like to imagine them sitting at separate tables. Nell will just take the apple and stand near the counter and look over the two of them. Um, not sure where to go from this. Seemingly thinking about the next words coming out of her mouth.
Well, if no one else is gonna say it, I will. This is awkward.
Seriously. Do
She
you always have
sips her-
something to say?
Silja finishes sipping her coffee and she like is looking at the cup and says, "It's only awkward when you make it awkward. Sometimes people just want to enjoy their breakfast silently."
Yeah.
And she just kind of smiles.
And denial is a river in Egypt.
Touche.
Enjoyed their breakfast silently while we all know that there should have been one extra person here.
I just like take the metal off of my hands and almost like craft it into a little fox and just put it on the side of the, like where an empty seat would be. It's not a good enough replacement, but I mean,
You're right. Poor Kira. I wonder what the teach is doing right now about it. She sips her coffee again.
weren't you the one that made it happen?
Me? Why do you say that?
Did you give her the thing and then you took the thing away and then...
What thing? You didn't see her give her anything.
Oh, I didn't.
She
I
didn't
thought
know.
she
No.
took the thing away. Okay, never
Well,
mind.
she did, but like she walked up really, really close to Kira and like just like went up really close into her space, grabbed it and
Okay,
yanked
I
it.
didn't realize. Okay,
Yeah,
I'll correct on that.
Additionally, at that point, I would say probably you were both fairly distracted, just because you
Okay.
were riding a metal badger, and
Fair enough.
Riding a metal badger. That's still so cool.
I mean, do
would
we know that
say-
she's gone? Like, gone? Like, maybe she'll be back. Maybe he's going to get her or something.
Whilst I think it's a very good thing to hope, I think Shelby is a bit out of his league here.
I mean, he said the wards went down, right? So,
Correct. So I guess that means, is he going to keep them down or is he putting them up right now?
I
And she's not looking at anyone, she's looking at the cup.
already.
Well, I guess that answers our question now, if he's going to go after her. Can't really go after her if the wards are up.
I'm gonna just like try to reach through the veil briefly, if I can, and just like see what I can grab and just feel what kind of souls are accessible right now.
Okay. It's kind of hard to like get that it's like the power itself, you know, the innate ability you have is fine, but it's kind of insubstantial to visualize and to essentially like push through the veil. And the access you have is kind of limited or dampened almost.
Yes.
Again, it's like it was when you faced off against Nell. It's limited, it's basic, and it's essentially it's like pushing through multiple layers of treacle.
Okay. Well, kind of, I don't know. My side of things kind of feels a little closer to how it was before everything went down. So, and I'll just kind of like close it up.
Where do you go when you do that?
It's the veil, you know, there's like our world, and then there's this barrier between where we are and like death and souls and stuff. So I can like reach through and there's a bunch of souls all kind of messing around in there of all different kinds. Some of them are like lost, some of them have a lot of emotion attached to it, and some of them just are really really angry and powerful and old and scary.
What's up?
Okay, you're like maybe in the middle.
Old and scary, powerful. That's me.
Fell into a fucking volcano head first.
Didn't fall, was sacrificed, difference.
Anyway.
Sacrificed to a dark god.
Yeah, well, seems that
The more
went
you
really
need to
well for
explain
you.
something, the more it seems like you're making stuff up, just so you know. That's kind of the whole thing.
Oh, well,
I was talking to your friend, not you.
Oh, yeah, he does that a lot.
So what you're saying is you and Kira have access to this other dimension?
It's a little different. Kira's whole thing, so we can see, because we have the, we can see each other's stuff, but Kira's stuff was more, not souls, but like spirits, if that makes sense. There's a difference, because I can't really work well with spirits. They're too chaotic and based in nature, whereas like I do more with things that are based in they have ceased to live, you know what I mean. The spirits are more the things growing and rain falling and the elements and all that, and old kind of like powers that coalesce in a space and then make something, and they're more
like in creation.
Kind of, yeah. It's more creation based, whereas mine's more destructive based in where it kind of stems from what I know. And that's just from my experimentation, because I've tried to reach through spirits, but it doesn't work as well. I'm much more, well, Beta will tell you this, I can command spirits to do stuff. Or sorry, souls, not spirits. Spirits have their own kind of mind. You have to like guide them, but at the end of the day, they have their own kind of ways of doing things, and it gets a little messy if you don't know how to persuade them to do exactly what you need to do.
So you control the souls, or sorry, not control. You can communicate and
control,
work with souls of the dead.
No, it's control.
You just said though
It is control.
No,
that
it's control. Souls.
But you
control.
just said that if you can't control them, then it gets messy.
Well, yeah. So I
So
can't.
Are you speaking
control
from
spirits.
experience?
Well, I can't control spirits.
But you can control souls.
Yeah.
All right.
But some souls are more difficult to control because they're stronger.
And by difficult, do you mean you could lose control of said souls?
Yeah, or just not be able to control them in the first place. Generally, if I've controlled a soul before, I can generally control them again. But Beta and I have a different interaction where like it's probably more spirity like, because we work together more, but it did definitely start as me controlling. And then, I mean, I think Beta finds it a little better to just have more of a purpose instead of floating around aimlessly over. And I just kind of wave towards where the tear in the veil used to be. There. What's it like in there, Beta?
Quiet.
Busy?
No.
No.
There's a lot of space with not a lot in it.
Does everyone who dies get stuck in there?
Not stuck. Not always stuck. Depends how you die, where you go. Belief has a certain something to do with it.
So, if you're religious,
No, not like that. It's hard to explain. Think of it like this, and this is essentially what Alfie was trying to say. Beyond the veil is order. Often where the spirits are is chaos. It's swirling life, energy, no real form of any kind. And then through the veil is where everything ends up. No chaos, no confusion, just order. Everything has its place.
well, I don't know about you, but I just found out that there's more after death, and that even if I die, my soul will become trapped and be able to be controlled by some mage. And with that, Nell will like kind of just sit down in a chair and like take a bite of her apple, like she's having an existential dread right now.
Hey,
Oh, I mean, it's not
welcome to the
always
club.
like that, you know? I don't know who gets to choose whether you're like trapped or not. But
Well, you do,
oh
right?
no, I don't get to choose. No. I don't choose who gets
Well, I
turned
didn't mean
into a
you
soul.
specifically, but I meant the people that dabble in your type of magic get to choose.
I don't even know if that's true. Cuz I don't officiate people's deaths, you know? And I don't send their souls places. I just take them.
You just take them.
Yeah.
Your
Ira,
soul is
are
mine.
like only bad people stuck there? Like,
No. I mean,
I mean, would you
say-
consider Beta a bad person?
Sometimes.
He sounds like he was just sacrificed against his will.
Well,
he probably got involved in some cult.
Hey,
what?
hey, hey,
Whoa,
hey, let's just-
Hold on a minute.
Hmm.
Let's not go hypothesizing about my good or badness, shall we?
It's not like that anyway. You know, some people just and what's even good or bad anyway? So yeah, good and bad, it's all relative.
It essentially, it's all about
Order.
who you are and how you meet your death. If
Order.
you are happy or if you are content, it's a lot easier to keep going down. And we're talking down in the sense of a vague concept, not an actual direction. So, you know, using, for example, when you are chosen to be sacrificed to a dark god that doesn't exist, you understandably have a little bit of a negative reaction to such, end up wandering, lost, and eventually lose a lot of what you are. until you're found and thrown in a necklace.
Yes, but see, you didn't volunteer, correct?
For what?
To be sacrificed.
Nope.
So other people chose your fate.
Yeah, but that's like saying.
Literally what happens every day.
Yeah. And I try to, sometimes you just try to make their lives, unlives, dead after lives a little better. I mean, he's a mouthy prick, but
Hey,
I mean, Beta and I have had, good times together, I think.
Alfie,
What?
the hell?
You are.
I mean, that's fine and dandy and all with you and Beta, of course, because it's already happened. But I'm talking about other people who could be experiencing the same thing that happened to Beta.
Yeah, but like, I don't choose.
No, I'm not talking about you. I'm just talking about the big picture.
What big picture?
Yeah. Want to talk
whole
about the
thing.
big picture? How about you tell us, do you have any more family that we need to know of that might come and kidnap one of us?
Kidnap?
I'm just gonna put my face in my bowl of cereal and keep eating. Like,
Kidnap?
I mean, call it whatever you want, pull us into another reality.
She died. And she has I just have a complete straight face, like dead serious. Like no, like nothing. It is just completely serious. There's no joke, like nothing on her face, no smile. Kira is dead.
And how do you know that?
Because my sword told me to. And you all witnessed it. My sword tells me when someone dies.
Someone, that's very vague. Someone at the other side of the world could have died in your sword.
Someone that needed to die. And I don't get to choose who. That's not how it works. Trust me, I tried. Many times. Doesn't work that way. And no, I don't have siblings, and I don't know who that was. And you can, I don't know, have Alfie there build a machine or a lie detector or whatnot and quiz me on it, but
those
I don't
really
have
work anyway.
Oh, well, there you go. But I have no siblings, and I don't know who that was. I would love to find out, but I don't think that's going to be happening anytime soon for any of us.
But you're gonna try to find out?
I would like to. I would like to know what this being is that calls me a sister. I was always an only child. Doesn't it make you curious? I mean, if you had somebody that claimed to be your sibling, wouldn't you try to find out if they really were? Kind of adds a little intrigue and excitement, doesn't it?
That's exactly what I just asked of you. You don't need to reverse the question or the topic on me.
I just wanted to double check to make sure we were on the same page.
Well, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, we're on the same page, except I don't necessarily believe that Kira's dead. But I guess that's just me.
And you know what? If that makes you happier, who am I to argue? And I will go and take a sip of my coffee.
I don't think that makes me happier at this moment. Pretty sure it doesn't.
Just kind of rolls her eyes a bit while sipping coffee, like, oh, well.
I'd like to believe that she's still alive. But I think we also need to get a lot better with our abilities before even trying to confront whatever the fuck it was that she brought out of the place.
To be honest, that was all her. I didn't know
don't
she could do that.
I don't know if it was all her.
Then
That thing
who
went
else
right
was
for
it?
you. I mean, the thing.
And does she not have control over the spirits, like you said? And isn't it
said she
possible
was
for
having
spirit-
difficulty with control?
I mean,
So
don't you have control of fate? So wouldn't you have known what would happen to her?
No.
Maybe even before you started the fight?
I'm not all knowing.
No, but you seem to know a lot when you want to.
I just know what I know. Nothing more.
Very good way to try to slide yourself out of answering the actual
I tempt
question.
fate. That's what I do.
And you know enough before situations happen, so maybe you saw something that could help us here that you saw before the fight happened.
No, I didn't.
You
don't have to
you
believe
can't
me
make
either.
a lie detector, Alfie.
I mean, I could try, but last time I did, it didn't really work that well.
Exploded.
Oh well,
Yeah.
never mind it. Just seems very strange to me that the one in control of fate and all of it doesn't know anything about what happened in her fight.
I don't control spirits. I don't have Kira's knowledge or powers. That doesn't mean that I can't make, assumptions, hypotheses, all that kind of stuff. I'm just as clueless as you all are. But that doesn't stop me from being curious. And what we witnessed yesterday was obviously her losing control. And as Alfie amply put it, it is possible to lose complete control over spirits that you can access, or should I say, souls in Alfie's case. So I would surmise that Kira went ahead and bit a little bit too much and summoned a bunch of spirits that she herself could not control. She even admitted it too. Why were they after me? We were in a sparring match, were we not?
See, I would call you a lot of things. Sly, cunning, all you want. But I wouldn't call you clueless. So you might want to play the card all you want. I'm not sold on it yet.
That's fine. I have nothing to hide either.
Good, because I don't think this house hides a lot.
I think it does.
Depends on who's looking.
Or who's visiting you in your room without knocking.
I just look over at her like,
Wait, you're
You-
gonna tell me that someone broke into the house?
Oh, they didn't break into the house. They live here. We had a really nice chat. Really friendly, too.
who did you meet?
Someone that lives a couple floors above us.
What did they look like? Did you see them? Can you see them?
So curious, Alfie, with all these questions all of a sudden.
Well,
Did I pique your interest? Or have you already met our friend?
I just keep my head down.
Ah,
Hey, can we maybe, keep talking about the supposed other person who's in this house?
That's who we're talking about. Alfie knows exactly who I am talking about. Actually, now that I think about it, does this mean that you met them before any of us did and didn't say anything? Wow.
I just didn't know what they were or who they were. And I
They didn't tell you their name?
Well, no, but they did, but it didn't. I didn't know if I was just hallucinating it or if it was something that I conjured or something.
Don't worry, Alfie. You didn't.
Well, I know that now.
I feel like there is a bit of lagging information here, so I would love it if the both of you can make this like a group discussion that like I could know who or what the other person is living in this house.
It's not really
just
a
if a
person.
problem happens again.
They're not really well, they're like, I don't know if they're a soul or a spirit or something, but it's this entity called Kilja, and they look like a kid. And he has the ability to manipulate some of the rooms. So, but in a kind of cool way. So that's kind of cool. Yeah, they can make like the rooms bigger or smaller, and also do some other pretty crazy stuff. But I don't know. I saw him yesterday, and then, or the day before, like when we got here, and then I didn't see them again. So I didn't know if he was going to be back or not. I didn't know if that was something that I just kind of conjured up in my head or something.
Well, Kilja and I are on good terms. Had a nice little light chat, you know, over tea and hot chocolate. Told them that they could come and visit me if they felt lonely. Because I tried to get a roommate for my room, but... well, we all know how that went. So they said that they could come and visit me whenever I felt lonely. So nice of them.
You invited an unknown entity into your room.
Yes. So I can make it known.
Yeah, and the best way to do that is to invite them for team biscuits instead of asking the actual owner of the house about another inhabitant.
That denies that there's no other inhabitants in here?
I mean, has he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, why would our teacher, Mr. Shelby, blatantly say that no one else lives in this house? And that the magic just happens?
Maybe because he doesn't know, and isn't that all the more reason to worry?
Maybe he doesn't live in this house.
You think that he is the house?
Well, no, but souls don't live. That's the whole thing.
Then what do? Do they possess? Do they...
They exist.
All right.
They
Can
are
they-
there. They don't live.
But can a soul interact with the room they're in? It sounds like he... I mean, we can all manipulate the rooms, but would just a soul be able to do that? Make changes physically?
I mean, Data, do you think you could physically manipulate something like a room to make it bigger or smaller?
Yeah, if you make a body for me.
Souls have uses They're just they're very varied.
If you want to change things in a room or something, you could call up a poltergeist, maybe.
What if the house is his body? What if it is his vessel? That would be pretty interesting, right?
I don't know.
And if the house is his vessel, wouldn't he know about the wards?
Probably. I mean, yeah, I guess. You could probably feel the wards if they're on the house.
He could probably break them too.
That depends on what kind of wards they are, right? Because if they're wards that are more detached, I guess, and they can't be broken by a spirit, then that's entirely possible. But I mean, anything can be broken by a force that's stronger than it, so I don't know. But Kill just said it wasn't very strong and that it got kicked out of whatever kind of academy type thing that he was doing, kind of, you know.
No, I don't know. But these are all just possibilities. But we could always find answers.
Yeah, I mean,
So, as you're all still, kind of sitting, having a chat, going over these things, the door opens. Shelby walks in, looking quite like dark-eyed, tired. Like there's bags under his eyes. Hello.
Speak of the teacher, and he shall appear. Good morning.
Yes, so... Sorry, there's a car. I've managed to repair the wards. That shouldn't be a problem, but I need to go and talk to the council about what happened. So I'm gonna have to go for a bit. It shouldn't take too long, hopefully. Unless, of course, they decide to rule some sort of punishment, in which case it could take a long time, in which case you may never see me again. So, with that in mind...
Well, I guess it kind of depends. Is Guinevere gonna be there?
Yes, she will be there. Yes.
Ah. Well, good luck.
Thank you.
maybe just let them know where we are so that if you can't get to us.
They're aware of where you are.
Oh, okay.
Or maybe we should. Isn't it safer for us to just be sent back to our mentors for the moment? I mean, you repaired the wards, but they were broken before.
I feel perfectly safe here.
Yeah, well, that's you.
So, you were sent here by your mentors to learn. So, you're not, there's nothing keeping you here. if you would like to leave, but I can tell you that if any of you return, then you're just going to end up in the same situation where you are essentially kept and not really learning very much at all of anything, because they are, I'm sure you've noticed, too busy to actually teach you anything. In fact, the majority of mages always have their own things to do and their own pursuits to pursue. In general, it is not very often that an actual teaching happens. It's only in very rare and special cases.
And what happens to the ones that can't quite make it?
Well, in general, much like happened yesterday.
That's what happens with everyone when they can't make the cut?
Not exactly that, but invariably the lack of control, the lack of discipline leads to self-destruction of some kind. Or worse.
So, if you're going to be leaving, are we going to have an assignment to work on while you're gone?
Yes. For now, I would like all three of you to work on crafting a new spell that incorporates all of your abilities, all of your domains. I know you all already have one. I'd like to see if you could make another one.
So you want us to combine our powers?
Not each individual together, but your for example, with you, Sesha, I would like to see if you can create a spell that will allow you to manipulate time and fate at the same time. Much like the one you currently have.
Oh. Alright.
Although...
Just, so we're clear. You want us to try and create a new spell, hence experiment, hence possibly lose control while you're away.
You don't have to...
Possibly self-destruct.
The wards are up.
The wards are up. You don't have to enact the spell. I'm asking you to craft one. Theory, not practice.
So we don't get to test it?
So it's like brainstorming. We get a little whiteboard and we can write ideas on it.
Well, how we all cast our spells, how we craft them is all individual. Mine is mostly runic based. But however you do, essentially think the objective here, Nell, is to start trying to understand the domains of your ability, to start realizing what you can do with them, which will help you start getting control over them. The practice of crafting a spell helps you understand what you're able to do, and with more understanding comes more control.
I can agree with that.
For example, you saw with those things, instead of teleporting the giant thing away, the entity, I simply moved the space between us. so that it was longer, so that it was further away. It required very little effort on my part, but had a large effect. It essentially, there are a lot of things you can do, some subtle, some powerful. The thing you need to do now to avoid any more problems is really figure out what it is you're able to do. And I will be talking to the council, and we will see about trying to locate and retrieve Kira.
She's not coming back.
She maybe is. You really don't know that.
It's true, I don't know everything.
It's possible for living beings, especially ones of a
I
spirit
know.
persuasion, to exist.
I know.
Let him talk, you
Beyond the
know.
veil.
So, there is a chance, and I imagine that part of the punishment handed down will be to retrieve Kira, or to at least find out what happened and how she did that.
Yes, it was a bit scary.
I'm not particularly well versed with the world of spirits and chaos, but as far as I know, those entities should not exist and should be impossible. So that'll be a fun little project for us all to enjoy when I get back, if I'm still alive. So you have your homework. Good luck. And if there are any questions, I'm leaving in a second, so probably say them now.
Can we
I
use
believe you're
the room?
qualified.
Which question
we
would
use-
you like me to answer first?
Oh no, mine wasn't a question. Please, Alfie, go ahead.
Alfie?
Can we use a room that can make stuff, like the white room, to practice stuff?
Yes. Well, the white room is a boundary. It's probably best not to practice in the boundary. If you go maybe a few more floors up and start searching for a room to train in,
You read
should be
my
able to find
mind,
something.
Mr. Shelby, and I will get up and I will
No, I
walk
did,
on out.
I didn't.
I walk
That-
on out. I leave.
Okay.
And I'm going upstairs. I'm gonna go try and find my friend.
Interesting. Sorry, Nell, what was your question?
You know what? Don't even think about it anymore.
That's almost impossible.
I think you have more pressing matters on your shoulders.
Yes, I do. Well, good luck.
I don't think I'm the one who's gonna need the luck.
Say hi to Morgan for me.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I'm
Well-
sure Merlin would love to have a cup of tea with you. You two are way too similar.
I like to think he's a little bit older than me, but your point is reasonably valid. Well,
I don't think staying here will help you with your case.
No, I should go. I'm going to go see the council. And then he just like kind of grasps his hand in the, like for a second, and then just turns and walks out the door.
Yikes, I would not want to be him right now.
That was weird.
Yeah. I don't know about all that. I'm just gonna get up and put the like bowl away, like clean it up and everything, and just go over to Nell.
Yeah, I was gonna say like I guess Alfie standing up and going to the sink kind of makes it look like she's leaving. So Nell will do the hurried steps like towards her and like kind of like in between her and the door and just like kind of say, hey, here's an idea. I'm not really the thinker. I'm more of a doer. The whole whiteboard brainstorming thingy, it's not really me. But would you possibly want to work together on this? And maybe I can help you and you can help me and maybe you can help think and I can help test things for you.
Yeah, I think that would work. I actually wanted to try making you something after seeing the whole thing, you know? And I take the spoon and I reform it kind of like into some brass knuckles, but they're like spoon knuckles kind of thing. Like they're made of that same kind of like metal.
Please make them with knives.
I mean, it's just like the metal of the spoon is completely just malleable, and I put it kind of like, do you mind if I just like see if it works on you? Just because like I don't know your hand size. It's a little, my hands are smaller, I think.
She holds out the like her dominant hand, but then like it's still kind of like messed up, so then she like holds out the other hand.
Okay. And I just like mold the metal around her knuckles to make some pretty basic brass knuckles, I think.
Yeah.
And I just want to like, I want to see, just hold on a second, because I want to try something, and I'm going to actually reach into the veil, pull out like a weaker soul, I guess, or just a soul that I can, and imbue it into the knuckles.
Like the last one, like a shade?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I want to imbue it into the knuckles and just kind of say, all right, you're going to help Nell hit harder, so long as it's not hitting me.
Okay. Let's have a roll, shall we? It's been a while.
Sure.
Could you please roll me your death and your gnosis, which I believe is 4.
Death and gnosis. Yes, that is 4. That's 2 successes.
Okay. The shadow kind of like struggles slightly as you essentially hold it over the metal, and then when you command it, like Nell can't hear this, but your voice takes on a double tone, which essentially like reverberates, and the soul kind of like syncs with your voice as you give it instructions, and then it kind of relaxes, it stops struggling, and then it kind of like almost fades in, you know, you let it go and it sinks down, and then it kind of fades into the metal. The metal, it would probably be a lot more subtle for Nell, but it kind of takes on a much more like darker brown reddish tint to it.
So it'll probably feel a little cold, but if you hit stuff, it might heat up really quickly. I don't know yet. I haven't tested that kind of stuff yet, so just see how it works for you. And if it's not cooperating, then just let me know and I can put it back. But see how it interacts with like the holes and stuff that you punch through.
During this entire time, Nella's looking down at the hand and looking down at the metal as like a kid on Christmas. She's looking like like in awe. And after that she's like, yeah, probably shouldn't do that in the kitchen. Here's an idea. She kind of opens the door, steps out, and kind of like takes 2 steps, looks back if Alfie's following, and if she's not following, does a little like motion.
Okay, I just like.
And I'm assuming that there are no doors like the bedroom doors on this floor, so she would have to go like at least 1 floor up, because she wants to find one of the doors that change according to what you want.
So I believe up to the 3rd floor is how far you have all explored. Nell's room is on the 3rd floor, as I remember.
And so is Alfie's, yeah.
And so is Alfie's.
All right, just the I don't even think. Just going up to the 3rd floor, going to one of the doors that isn't occupied necessarily at this moment, and kind of like Nell waits for a second out there, thinks about it, and opens it, and basically what she's expecting on the other side and what she's wanting is like a bigger space, definitely, than the bedrooms are. Kind of a gymnasium like sized room with, on the one hand, a kind of training-ish area with like a bunch of objects in the way, a bunch of like punching bags and like mannequins and stuff like that, just like for physical training. And then on the other side of the like gymnasium is a kind of like working area with like a bunch of tools and like a bunch of scrap metal and all of that stuff. Because basically Nell managed to look into like Alfie's room when she was first doing the whole door thing.
Yeah.
And also the shed during their fight. So basically, like what Nell imagines the combination of the 2 of those things are like on the second half of the room, it's just like this big amalgamation room. That's what she's hoping to find on the other side, expecting to find.
Okay. When you 1 second, Sesha, you went first. You're going to the 4th floor.
Because from what Kill just said, he'd specified that he lived a couple stories up.
Okay.
So she will go a couple stories up, and she'll have her cane out, and she'll go, Hilda.
So, you go up to the 3rd floor, which has Nell's room and has Alfie's room. Go up another set. I'm assuming you're not too interested in the next couple of floors, and you're basically going up like 6 or so to like the 6th or 7th.
Yeah.
Okay. So as you go up, you know, you have the you have the kind of just generic floors with a few doors and etc. When you get up to about the 6th, the 7th, it changes slightly. Looks slightly older. Lights are replaced by lamps. It has like a 1900s feel to it.
Oh.
A lot more archaic. Like the house looks quite old itself anyway.
Yeah.
This looks much more like a Victorian house now. It's also dark. As in, it's like it's nighttime. And there would be a
Can
window even, and the window, you can see outside. There's like dark, nighttime, out there.
Can I use my spell, red light, green light for this?
Uh huh.
As in, like, when I start walking, the lamps just like turn on as I'm like walking down the hall.
Would they have flame lamps? Not electric.
I mean, does it still work? Technically?
You can't light fires, unfortunately. That would be a Nell thing.
Yeah, that would be a Nell thing. Darn it.
If they were electric, you can turn them on and off. But
Oh, okay. Then I will start taking my cane and I will start tapping both sides as I am walking down this hall. And I will keep saying, Hilja, where are you?
Are you looking for Kojo? Are you
Yeah.
looking for Kojo's room?
I'm looking for Kilja first, because then I figured that if Kilja appears, possibly lead me to the room.
No apparitions.
Okay. Well, he could at least describe to me the room, right?
Who?
Kilja?
He didn't describe you the room.
No, I said, but if he was here,
Oh,
like,
yeah, he could have.
when I called out to, well, I'm saying, like, if I called out to him, I could ask him to describe his room.
Yeah.
Okay. So I will continue to call out his name.
No response. I'm assuming you stop on the 7th floor.
Yeah, so she stops and she goes, she puts her cane down, both hands on it, and she goes, I'm so sad and lonely. I'm the only one here and I'm lost. Isn't there anybody to help me? Anyone?
She's got that. Does she have that like head down, poor me, sad look, and then she's like,
Yes.
like one eye open, just like looking around, like,
Yeah, she's
did
just
it
like,
work? Nothing.
Well, maybe I'll just start opening every door then. If you want something done right, you have to do it yourself. I will begin to open or attempt to open every single door on the 7th floor.
Okay. What are you looking for?
Something that looks similar to, like, a room, I guess, with what he described. Dresser, cabinet, that kind of stuff. So looking specifically for Kilja, I guess, but I can't really locate him. So
Okay.
I don't really know how the house would react to that.
You open a door, and there is what was described. Bed, drawer, mirror, cupboard, all that type of thing. And a door on the other side of the room.
I will swing the door more open. I will knock on said door before entering. And I will make my way over to the door that's on the other side.
Okay. You opening it, I guess?
Well, before I open it, I will knock.
Yeah.
And then I will open it.
You open the door to the room you described. The room that was described to you. A bed, a cupboard, mirror, closet, and a door on the other side of the room.
Sasha will smile, and she will kind of like tilt her back and forth. She will do the same exact thing. Knock on the door and then enter.
Okay. You open the door to a room much like was described to you.
Same room. Okay.
A closet, mirror, a cupboard, and a door on the other side of the room.
I'm going to do the same thing. Walk up to this door and knock and open it. But before I'm opening it, instead of thinking exactly what he described to me, I'm going to think of it with tea and hot chocolate.
Okay. You open the door to a room much like was described to you. A bed, cupboard, mirror, closet, and a door on the other side of the room.
And no hot chocolate.
No hot chocolate.
I will plop on the bed.
Okay.
And just start humming, looking up at the ceiling.
Fair enough. Going to ponder for a little bit.
Yes.
Nell and Alfie. In this case, you walk up to the fourth floor, and there's multiple doors there. Slightly longer hallway, a bit bigger than the floors below, but at this point, I don't think that particularly stands out to you too much. And just open a door looking for what you said you were looking for. You are presented with a room split in essentially two, like right down the middle. You have a shiny hardwood floor with what seems like some kind of like almost covering almost. It's like it's been the wood has been treated. It's very shiny, and has like in one part of it, it has like weights and speedball and that type of thing. But the main thing it has is a basketball court with the lines and with the basketball hoops. There's even a couple of basketballs like lying around. If either of you are wearing sneaker type things, then they're going to squeak on it. On the other side is carpet. There's kind of like slightly musty smell. There's a big table with like chairs all around it, and a sign on one of the bookshelves. There's like bookshelves on bookshelves on bookshelves like all around that says, "Please stay quiet in the library."
I think Mel will smile brightly as she opens the door, and kind of also holds it open then for Alfie to be able to pop her head in. She's just like, "This house is amazing."
It's pretty cool.
Right. I don't know. I just thought it might be easy to have like a room like this where I could punch and electrocute things on one side, and then you can tinker with stuff, and if you have anything, you can just throw it my way. Unless, of course.
No, this is great. This works. I might have to get some more scrap metal though. But
I tried to imagine it, but honestly, I've only been in kind of workspaces like that once, and that was no twice, and that was both of the rooms that I saw that you had. So my imagination was lacking a bit.
oh, that's okay. I mean, and I'm gonna see like is there like a can I imagine like another door kind of like on my side of the room?
You can try.
I'm gonna try to like imagine a door on my side of the room that leads to like a shed full of metal kind of thing.
Nothing appears. There's never been a door in any of the rooms.
Can I try
that go
something?
somewhere. Sure.
Can I try to open a little portal and this is difficult because I'm not gonna try to take anything from inside the house because I know that the house is like this big wide space that's very difficult to navigate. I guess in Nell's mind, the only room that would be easy to navigate at this moment would be the white room.
Okay.
Yeah, because like I imagine it that way. If I ever try to do it and you say like, no, it's not that way, tell me then. But I'm not trying at this point.
The white room definitely felt more accessible in terms of ability to do things. And Shelby did mention that it's kind of a border, whatever that means. So
it's also because Nell used a co-location there, and like in my mind, it's like the 3 locations that she has pinned are like pinpoints in like the mind in her map, sort of thing, if that makes sense. But yeah, I just want to try to open a little portal to the side, and gosh, what did we do with the sicycle? I think I said I took it.
Wearing the gloves? You wearing the gloves?
Yeah, on one hand. Okay. I think I said that Nell took the sicycle. Because like she didn't let Alfie enter with it, so she kind of took it. I want to try to take the sicycle out of my little portal.
Which hand are you using?
Like naturally
Glove
my
or no
dominant
glove?
one, so the one without the knuckles.
Without knuckles, okay. Yeah, you reach in, grab, pull out from your little pocket dimension, your little storage space, and just out comes this ridiculous sicycle, weird, like, it looks like a giant blender almost. But obviously the mechanic isn't of blenders. Yeah, so there is your sicycle.
And I hold it out to Alfie.
Oh. I wonder where that went.
Yeah, I thought you might want that back.
Alfie,
No. What?
what is that?
It's my sicycle.
As in a whole load of scythes turned into a bicycle?
It was supposed to be something I was gonna it sounds silly now that I'm saying it. But it was gonna be something I was gonna use to hurt Sasha when she took you. So
Right.
I got really mad and made that.
Interesting.
It's not my best work, I know.
We need to have a talk about your thought process at some point.
You know, you can be more grateful that she didn't put you in one of those things.
I know that'd be kind of fun.
I mean, do you want to try it?
Not right now. Plus, there's no real mechanism. It's just a pedal.
Well,
Don't say that like you could make that. Like you sound so judgy about it, but could you make it?
No. But I've been with Alfie long enough to know that she can make better than that.
he's not wrong.
Honestly, a low-grade tier of work compared to what she can make.
Is he like your mentor or something? Like is that the whole like
No,
because
God,
that sounds exactly like something, for example. Well, not exactly like, but that sounds like Merlin or something. Like
No, he's been my soul of choice, we could call it.
Soldier.
His words, not mine. For long enough that he's been put into some pretty fun, constructions, and this is definitely not my best work.
Bit of a botch job.
Okay, maybe not, let's go easy.
Let's not call it what it is.
It's a scythesicle!
Yes, a botch job.
And I just like grab it and disintegrate it like into metal pieces and just chunks again and just be like, fine, we'll start over.
Alfie,
Mm-hmm.
why are we in a high school? Alright.
Isn't this kind of like school?
Yeah. I mean, not exactly, but...
We're in school.
Oh, okay.
you know, if you ever get tired, you could just like make a basketball, or I could put him in a basketball and like toss him around, and like if he ever starts annoying you, you know. Just so you know, and I don't talk to Alfie at that moment. I talk to like the general presence known as Beta to me, and I said like, just so you know, I could put you in a basketball and like toss you around. It is high school after all. Bullying is a thing.
You're not really my type, I'm afraid.
Beta!
Hmm?
It's a wonder I still keep using you.
Never been rejected by a ghost before.
Soul, not ghost, but okay.
He's very particular. So I'm gonna walk out of the door real quick, and I'm gonna just open the next door, and I want to picture just like
next door, remember?
Oh, there's not? Oh, okay, never mind. My room's downstairs, right? So I'll just run down the stairs real quick. And I want to like grab a bunch of the metal that I used as a nest.
Yeah.
And kind of like almost like pile it up into like a condensed ball of very, very heavy metal and just like tuck it under my arm and bring it upstairs into that room.
Just hear I would say even Sesha, you upstairs, everyone could just hear this like clank, 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 of just like this metal just smashing together and etc. And then Alfie kind of like ferret runs back into the room, into the basketball library, and has a whole.
I do
load
that
of
a couple
metal with her.
times.
Okay, so
I want to. I want to do that a couple times. Like every time I reopen my bedroom door, I'm picturing like an anvil or like a couple other things, and just like compress the anvil, tuck it under my arm, kind of run back upstairs, you know.
Okay.
At one point, like just a big net of just pieces, just scraping up the wood, you know, and then just bringing it inside.
Okay.
I think at some point Nell would offer assistance and open a small little portal if possible to where Alfie is and then like in the room so that like not necessarily staying with Alfie, but I just like the idea of Nell sitting in the gymnasium with like the little portal and just seeing bits of like metal fly through it because Alfie is like throwing them through the other side. If that's allowed.
It's not just metal too. Like at a certain point, there becomes like wood and various kinds of fiber and like just marble at one point. Just like a couple different just random pieces of electronics, a whole freaking computer just like jolting through, and then like a couple different like power sources just piling in, and it just becomes this one big messy fucking pile.
Okay.
But yeah, and then eventually I'll just like pop my head through the portal and be like, you can close it in a second, just don't cut my head off. And I'll just like pop my head back out and come back upstairs.
The only thing I will say is, Nell, if you portal and use your glove metal hand, let me know.
I won't do that, but I will try to use it immediately after this.
Okay. So, Alfie, I'm guessing that you hunch over with a whole load of metal at the desk in the library?
Yeah, but like first I'm like I want to have like a big board or a big metal sheet that I'm just like sketching on with like another piece of metal, I guess, that just like scrapes along the thing.
Oh yeah, I mean, you could even use your finger.
Oh yeah, I'd probably use my finger.
Just like
Yeah.
Essentially, the metal itself, when Alfie's like writing in it with her finger, looks like sand or like Play-Doh or whatever. She just like drags her finger through the metal.
And there's like math going on at the side. I'm like, what if I manipulate more than just metal? What if I make a bomb?
I think for the first part, like Nella's looking at what Alfie is doing, and she looks at the math on like the metal and just like stares at it, and then like is about to give up interest, and then Alfie says like, what if I could make a bomb? And as Nell walks away to the other side of the room, she says like, a bomb could be cool.
Cool. That would be cool. And I'm
just as a sidebar for Nell, as you're walking away, as Alfie's like saying this, and like, oh, I can make a bomb, you just hear,
Help, 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 help.
You could totally, and I turn around as I'm walking away and I say, you could totally make a bomb and put Beta in it so that he does like something extra to it. He would love that.
I was like, you know what? That's not a bad idea, but
I'm not that extra, really, to be honest.
Hey, Beta, you can probably regenerate, right?
Let's just have. What about other ideas? Which maybe.
I'm like, I mean, I don't know if this is the point. I like, because I can start brainstorming here, and I have a couple different ideas for this homework.
Oh yeah. Let's. I'm trying to decide if this is going to be a big sidetrack or not. Let's see what Nell does quickly, and check in with Sesha and see what she's gonna do before we get into.
Yeah, sure. At this point, I wasn't lying when I said Nell isn't the thinking type. So like she'll really try to brainstorm, but first she'll try to punch with the brass knuckle and see what happens.
Okay.
So she'll walk to the other side of the room and go up to one of the targets that's there.
Yeah.
And we'll like look at the brass knuckle, kind of blow over it, and say like, let's look what this shiny thing can do. And I know that this could possibly be really funny if it doesn't work, but like she'll prepare the punch, she'll make the movement and just like physically do it, like no portal or something. And we'll call out to Alfie before she does it. She'll like, hey, check this out, and then she'll punch, and hopefully something cool happens.
So no portal, you're just punching the like target dummy.
Yeah, because Alfie said like just make Nell punch harder. So I guess like the first thing she would want to do is try to see if it just basically like makes her punch stronger.
Okay. As you kind of square up and you punch, your fist goes inexorably towards the like face of this target practice dummy, and goes into it and goes through it and goes out the other side. Are you watching, Alfie? There's a like small shimmering outline, almost like a soul, of the target dummy, behind the target dummy.
As she does that, Nell sees nothing of this, but her hand is through it. She looks to the side.
Goes through it and it's like...
Yeah, she looks to the side and says like, "This, just so you know, this is not meant as a threat." Do I feel like that was harder than I could usually punch, or does it just feel
just a regular punch? And also,
all right?
You didn't hit it at all. Your hand went through it, like just through the...
That's something different.
Like it phased through.
I said, "Holy fuck, look at this." And I like moved my hand through it.
Yeah.
So, holy shit, you punched that thing really hard.
Hey, try to... You remember our like test match? Try to send one of those things at me.
Yeah, you'd probably kill it again.
Alfie, there's like a thin sliver of like kind of slightly white, slightly pink almost line going from this like weird shimmering, like slightly whitish outline back to the dummy.
I'm just gonna like approach it and kind of twinge it a little bit, like just kind of pluck the string.
Yeah.
Huh.
It's not fully tangible. It's similar to when you grab the essentially little smoky devils, let's call them, out of the veil. It has the same kind of tangibility. You can kind of hold it, but it's also a little bit ethereal. And
fascinating.
as a sidebar now, you are now looking at Alfie examining thin air. Pretty much.
Yeah, there's like a slight confusion on Nell's face, but then on the other hand, she knows that she can see things she doesn't. So she's trying to blend in. She's trying to make this seem all normal and like
just like
you have the feeling that even if Alfie were to ask a question or like make a comment about it, she would be like, yeah, totally.
As a sidebar, do remember that you can all bestow sight for your domains, for your spheres, onto each other. So
it's
I would say in this instance, it would be perfectly understandable and probably likely that Alfie would forget, but just to remind you as players that it is possible.
Yeah, Alfie would just kind of be like, huh, okay. Interesting. Wonder. And I'm gonna try to like coax the string and the soul of the thing attached just back into the knuckles, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Into the dummy.
Sorry, into the dummy. Yes,
Yeah.
into the dummy.
Yeah, you can do that. Essentially, it kind of nothing changes, nothing happens, just goes back.
Mm-hmm. Huh.
It's pretty easy. There's like a pull there that wants to be back together, like almost like a magnetic force.
Well, that is just neat. You know,
I know, right? And Nella's still moving her hand through the dummy.
oh, you can't see this. Hold on. And I'm just gonna kind of like almost like tap her just to like allow her to see the sight
Just
kind of thing.
Finger to the temple.
Yeah.
Quick exchange of power, and your eyes like film over black for a second, and then back to normal. And as you like putting your hand through it now, you can see like the ethereal kind of head of the dummy being pushed out and like slowly kind of like swooping back in.
Huh? Now you can see what you're actually doing.
Huh. I didn't know dummies could have souls.
Neither did I. Maybe it's something more than that. Try.
Does that mean every object has a soul? And I look around and the nearest thing, I don't care, like a punching bag or one of the weights, and I try to do the same thing. Hoping that it'll work and I don't break my hand.
Yeah, you punch it, push your hand through it. One of the weights, or what are we going with?
Whatever is nearest.
Probably a punching bag.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, fist goes through the punching bag. The kind of essence, whatever this is, of the punching bag gets like knocked out. Kind of floats there for a little bit.
Interesting. I wonder.
I try to politely pull it back in.
Yeah, you reach out and grab it. It's actually very solid. I'm assuming you're grabbing it with your gloved hand.
Yeah, but yeah.
It's very solid for you. Like you can just grab it and like pull it back in.
Huh. So you could just do that with the glove. Oh, interesting. I am going to. I am going back over to my side.
Yep.
Yep. And I'm going to create, like, I'm gonna mold like just like a ring, really.
Okay.
Like it's just a small ring, like a small trinket of some kind, that I can easily wear and that won't kind of like get in my way. And I'm going to pull another soul out and just put it in there, just without any kind of like direct definition of what it should do.
Okay.
And then I'm going to I'm gonna be like, Beta, I'm gonna try to do something. Can you manifest yourself like out of the necklace for a little bit? I'm just gonna try to like release him just into our kind of vicinity.
All right.
It's kind of like vague, grainy black entity, like kind of sifts out, still attached to the necklace, but just kind of like sifts out into like a kind of fog of dark. It almost looks like a thought bubble, almost, you know, like that.
And I'm just gonna like try to pat him on the whatever kind of like shoulder, whatever it is that like just the top part of his shape, I guess.
You get that same feeling you get with souls, where it's like it's tangible, it's there, but you can also kind of push through. And he's like,
Yeah, tickles.
Huh. Now you do it. Try to like grab him.
to you, I'm assuming, no?
Yeah, to Nell.
So you want her to do what exactly? Because at this moment, like, she wouldn't be listening to you. She would try to do the punching thing, but with a portal. So if that gives any weird side effects, tell me. But she wouldn't be listening at this moment.
Okay.
Oh no.
As you punch, your instead of a portal opening up, you punch through, and like essentially, it's like it's like the air is paper, and you punch through like wet paper, and you just punch through it, and there is a like a kind of dark, smoky kind of like there's a little kind of like very faint and far off like screaming, not in a not yeah it sounds super creepy, not in like a
It sounds like I just punched a ghost.
it's essentially it sounds like a very, very far off kind of like wail of like kind of escaping as little tendrils of smoke start to come out from the hole, and kind of dance and move around. Alfie, she's punched a hole in the veil.
Ah! Oh no. No.
I try to like, Nella's also panicking, so she's
No.
like saying like, I'm sorry. And she's
Wait.
trying to-
And I'm just like, I'm gonna go over and try to
There's-
close
there's
the hole
like-
in the veil real
yeah,
quick.
There's like these little spindly kind of like smoke devils that are like and you know. they're
Nope,
like,
get back! And I'm like trying to grab them, like
grabbing them and like shoving them back in the hole and
just like into the fucking thing and be like, and then like almost like zip tying it back up in a weird way.
yeah,
Like-
you can cover back up over the hole.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe we don't
Hold up.
do that.
Did I just, because when I do this, I imagine my fist going through, like, you know, the overlap of this space and like that space way over there, right? So what if instead of going through that like overlap of space, because of this, whatever you put in it, I didn't go to I didn't go to this reality. I went to
You went to the
like-
veil. You went through the veil. Like that's where the dead people are. You somehow went through that's I guess portals are made through the veil. That's interesting and kind of nuts.
It wasn't really a portal. It was to give you an idea, it was like when Morgan got pissed and she like ripped open a section of the veil. She was just like
Oh, right, yeah.
so similar to that.
Okay, well, so that's somehow that means you ripped a hole in the veil. And that is
I slowly take off the brass knuckles
Yeah.
and I like both hands neatly hand it over to her.
probably for the best. Yeah, and I'm just gonna like hold it. I'm gonna release the soul back into the
I don't know how I feel about punching dead people.
I'd be less worried about punching them and more about what they would do if they infiltrated this world. So
Alfie,
yeah.
could you please roll me your intelligence and your occult?
Intelligence occult
And you may
is
add the dice for the veil speciality.
okay. So 4 and occult is where's my occult?
2.
It's 2, so 6, so 7.
7 d10,
Yeah.
please.
1, 2, 3. 3 successes.
And could you also please roll me your intelligence and your crafts?
So it's 4 and 4, so 8.
You don't.
Plus mechanical or no?
You don't get mechanical.
Okay, so 8.
It's 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah.
You're-
All my failures were 1s.
So, this will require some study, but you have an idea of what you just did.
Okay. What did I just do?
You successfully and inadvertently combined 2 of your spheres together. When you made the glove for Nell, and you put that the soul in it, you essentially imbued an item with the ability to interact with the core, almost soul, but let's call it the makeup of objects, of things, of materials.
Oh, that's fucking cool.
Essentially, what Nell did was she punched out the inherent soul of the dummy. That is everything that makes it up. You know, it's not alive, but it still has a basic material makeup, and you have knowledge of materials. The side effect of punching through the veil is just because there's a soul in it, and you know she was trying to portal and just essentially punch through the veil instead accidentally. But the core mechanic you have here is something that you might be able to develop. Is you'll be able to imbue like a glove or material with a soul and your knowledge of how materials work and all that type of thing, and essentially extract the soul of an item to examine it, to see what it's made up of, to see what makes it work, and even to snap that string and break it down
Oh, that is fascinating.
on essentially a molecular level.
Okay. So I will I'm gonna take some of the fabric that I have and I'm gonna reform some of it. Like it's almost like I'm not sewing, but it's almost like it's just restitching itself into just some basic gloves. And I'll put
fingerless gloves.
Not quite actually. I want them to be metal tipped.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Just on the tops.
Yeah.
So that it makes it a little bit easier to like grab things, almost as though they're like nails. And then I'll grab another soul kind of with the same intent.
Yeah. And
put it in the gloves. Can I put them in the gloves as like a group? Or could I maybe like one glove as one and one as another thing, or just one? I'll just do it as one glove. I'll put it as one glove.
Okay.
Just one glove. Where it has that same kind of like those same features, and then I will just kind of like flex it and see. I'm just like, okay, think I can do this in a less aggressive way. And I'm gonna take like a table or something that's like nearby,
and
just kind of like pull the soul, the make of what it is out of it, and just look at it and just kind of examine it.
So yeah, you pull this kind of like filmy white, very translucent essence out of the table. It's got the shape of a table. There's like this little string, like white, pink, attached to the table itself. And as you like look at it, you can see the wood, the makeup of it, the shape of it, and like how dense it is, and how you can see all of the details of it. And you know, essentially, you realize if you want, you can make adjustments to it. You can sever it. You can, you know, pull bits out of it and rearrange it, and all those type of things.
So first I'm gonna try to like, I'm just gonna, it's almost like, you know, playing around like Photoshop to me, like this is what I'm imagining. It's like I'm just gonna like almost like turn some kind of bit of it, and I want to change the wood type to like whatever wood it is to like another wood type, and just kind of see it shift. And then I want to almost change the height and length of the legs, and like maybe like change it into like a warpy kind of shape of table. And then I just want to like look at it and be like, see, table changes. And then I'm gonna be like, watch this, and I'm just gonna like almost take the glove finger and just like snip the string, and just watch it, like what happens.
Yeah, as you kind of like snip the string with your little nails on the end of the glove, the both tails of the bit of the string that you cut kind of flare a lot, like almost flare kind of like ember, and then turn into essentially like ashes, like black dust, and both like that. And the table itself is like eaten up with the black dust and essentially disappears into nothingness. The table itself just like dust, ash, just onto the, almost like sawdust, onto the ground, just disintegrates.
Wow, that's kind of cool. Now I wonder if I can do it with like electrically powered things. And that, like, I want to, like, that's kind of where I'll use it, because that's where I want to combine my forces and stuff.
That's essentially where Alfie goes back to her drawing board and just starts like writing chemical equations and you know, all that type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I will say the same time, Nell. Are you going back to what you're doing, or are you are you like just watching Alfie go?
No, definitely not. She doesn't have the attention span for that.
Yeah.
She the moment like she handed off the brass knuckles and Alfie went back to doing whatever she did, I think like Nell just like she squats down for a moment, just like things like murmurs like, fuck, I just punched through the veil. I just punched two dead people. She like she mulls this over for a second, and then she's like, as if through all of this she gained a bit more confidence in being able to do new stuff.
Yeah.
You know? So I think without a real goal yet, she'll try to do some things. I have a few ideas.
Okay.
But some of them she'll need Alfie's help for, some of them she won't. So I think she's gonna like she's always been punching things away, essentially. So always punching things forward. I think the first thing that would come to her mind is trying to pull something to her. Because essentially what I also, forces is a very large kind of sphere.
Yeah.
But I saw in there that it's like friction and magnetism were also part of it. So I think she'll first try to taking small steps, she'll first try to do the thing that Shelby did, as in like if she can make it so that, for example, if Alfie were to push how do you call it? It's one of those things that you use in high school that you use to jump over, like one of those like wooden
the horse, the hobby horse things where you
basically that you have to like
pommel horse.
Like one of those things. She'll try to focus on the space between her and that thing, and essentially not being able to pull it to her yet, but like ask Alfie like and I think this would take at least like 15 minutes, sort of time that Alfie's been doing all of the other stuff. It would take that much like time for her to actually figure this out yet. So like she's preparing to do that with like hands outstretched a few meters away from the thing, and she'll call out to Alfie like, would you mind giving a push here?
Yeah,
and
sure.
Yeah.
Like, what do you need me to do? I'm coming, and I'm.
Alfie's like lost in
questions
and such as huh?
What am I pushing?
I imagine
I'm not very strong.
I imagine it's not difficult for you to grasp onto what Nell wants you to push, because she's standing there like legs spread, like squatting, and like hands reached outward, nothing in between her and the, how do you call it again?
Pommel horse?
Yeah.
The pommel horse, yeah. Nothing in between them, and just her intently looking at the thing.
Yeah, okay. And I'll go over and basically use I'll probably go over and grab the what's it called? Like almost like the pieces of the floor and shift it. Like shift like everything that's on top of it just over.
Just like crunch up the floor.
Yeah, like almost like, you know how I moved Shelby before? How I like made him slip?
Yeah.
So similar concept,
okay,
but moving everything on top of it, you know, carefully, but still.
So, no, you have a good idea of how far the horse is away from you. 2.65 meters. And when Alfie essentially shifts the floor under it and moves it towards you, you feel it get closer to you, but it's still moving in relative space. So you're not shortening the distance between you and it. It's just being brought towards you. What you're wanting to do is you're wanting to essentially take a distance and shorten it.
Yeah, essentially I wanted to, once it crosses a line in my head, I wanted to immediately cross the space between that line and me, like in a moment. That's indeed what I'm trying to.
Yeah. So as it gets closer to you, you focus on a specific point in between you and the horse, and you shorten that distance. So you compact the space. You make it so that when the horse reaches that point, it's not halfway in between you. It's right under you, because those spaces occupy the same space.
Mm-hmm.
And so, Alfie, as you're moving the horse, it gets to about halfway, and then suddenly it's underneath Nell.
And I just look at her from like atop it. I just say like, thanks, yeah, I can work with that.
What this will allow you to do is to pick a point in space or to pick an object. It'll allow you to change the distance between you and that object.
Yeah. Basically, in my mind, this is now has become a 2-step process. First step, get object to me. Or like shorten distance between object and me.
Yeah.
Step 2, pull object towards me. But I imagine there's some practice there first to get a hang of the space element as is right now.
Yeah, and one other thing I can give you, because you did see Moonface essentially instantly shift from one position to another. That wasn't manipulation of space. That was manipulation of forces.
Whoa.
Essentially and this is something that's been in your head since you've seen Moonface do it. It was the manipulation of essentially kinetic force that essentially caused Moonface to echo on the spot, vibrate at a really fast frequency, and then essentially shoot to a position. It's closer to teleportation than what you can do, because you essentially manipulate space. You know, you can close the distance you're moving, you can cause yourself to move a lot further, but there's a possibility you could instantly move to any position you could see purely with the manipulation of force and your knowledge of space. So, that's just something you've essentially seen. You understand it because you understand force, you understand space, and it's something that would essentially I'm giving to you because it's something that you would have picked up from Moonface there, just seeing it.
I love how we just made it so that Nell doesn't she's not good at learning things from books. Like, she's a complete dumbass that way.
Yeah.
But she sees something, she's like, I can do this now.
That's so funny.
It's like the pop-up, you have learned one new skill.
It essentially, you'll have to experiment around and try different things, but the vibration, the manipulation of the space around you will essentially hypercharge you and then allow you to essentially. You don't even have to move, you just have to move the forces around you. It'll allow you to boom, and it'll be like an echo, like it was with that. Now, you should be able to sort out the. Wait, what? Did an idea come?
Instead of course I have an idea. Instead of now just punching with my fist and making that a kinetic blow, I can just barrel into something and make my entire body a kinetic blow.
That is nuts.
You'd have to get the forces right so you didn't crush your bones instantly, but yes, it is.
That is so cool. That is so cool.
But yeah, there's I think what we'll do is Sesha, would you be heading down to them to join in, or are you going to be doing something else on your own?
Oh, please, before you answer, Kat, can I just say that you hear because we're in a high school gym technically, so you hear the squeaking of shoes on the floor.
I just hear all that.
It's like someone is holding a basketball match in a room.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of actually did want to try something.
So you'd like to do a little bit before you possibly going to them? Okay.
Yeah.
In that case, we will do it next episode.
Yeah.
I just wasn't sure whether to have you.
No. Yeah, no, you're good.
All right. So we will end there with some very cool experimentation and messing around with your abilities. And we will carry on next week with some very cool experimentation and messing around with your abilities. This is like episode end, you know, all the drama's gone, but yeah, this is what I love about Mage, is just like, you know, it's obviously very very OP in a lot of ways, where it's like, hey, you can do whatever you like anytime you like. It's just so fun to be like inventive and weird with it, and just be like, hey, I'm gonna punch the soul out of a table, you know, or like, oh, I saw a weird mysterious being use manipulate forces to teleport. I'm gonna try that, or like, you know, that gives me an idea. So yeah.
Also, to be fair, I thought that you only gave that because I took basically 3 dots in each.
Your knowledge of space and forces is essentially what allowed you to figure that out. It's, you know, it's it would be innate in just seeing it. You'd understand what it was doing and be able to understand the principles of it, basically. Similar to if, you know, if an entity manipulates time in some way, Sesha would just look at it and be like, oh, it's manipulating time. Okay, I see how that works. Yeah, did you guys enjoy yourself today?
That was, yeah. I mean, it's just cool to be able to like play around with everything and see how things react, you know?
That poor dummy had a job and probably a family.
A family.
Well, the dummy's still alive. It wasn't
It's
destroyed.
the table. The table.
The dummy is alive?
Well,
I was gonna say
not alive. It's still intact.
Oh, I'm gonna say I can't say the same about Kira.
Duh.
Yes, you can.
Maybe.
I don't know. Like, honestly, like I've been like mulling it in my head, but like
Your face
like with my character
when
and stuff.
Killshare turned up.
Oh man.
So,
Yeah, it's super cool to like, yeah, I think it's cool because like we tried to combine our powers to make something like different, I guess, but it ended up kind of being a little bit more than we could handle for now.
Next up, I'm gonna
But with everybody with you all like experimenting.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say that's literally like what happened with like Silja and Kira unintentionally.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Sesha wanted to do something, and it went a little awry and combined.
A little.
And, yeah.
Yeah, it kind of combined, which is what she realized too, because she was talking to Kil'jaeden, was like, oh no, like I've you know, time traveled, but I had the help of like, you know, another person like Baba. I can't do it by myself. And then she's like, wait a second.
No, we're not gonna help you bring back dinosaurs.
No. Not even like, well, she was just thinking, she's like, wait a second. Like, she put 2 and 2 together, was like, so she like is kind of putting the piece together that like she combined her powers with like Kira and broke stuff. Oopsies.
Oh no, what could possibly happen? Like, who would combine powers with someone else and break stuff?
Not me.
That's just silly.
Yep, just fucking terrifying.
Especially when it was like completely unintentional. Like she just wanted Kira's powers to kind of go like, you know, awry, and then
she realized that her powers have got a little bit awry too.
Yeah,
maybe
just a smidge.
But she ain't gonna admit that.
No.
Yet.
Well,
or never. You'll never know.
Did
you clueless little girl.
I mean, it's true though. Like even though she does have control over time and fate, she's not like she's not a fortune teller. She's not an oracle. Like she can't see like, at least for right now, she doesn't have the abilities to see like the future, like that far enough to the point where like she knew that like she was gonna die or whatnot.
Even if she did, it's not solid. It's possibilities. You know, she can see what can possibly happen. Sometimes she can even choose what can happen. But...
Which is what she tried to do when she was prepared to kill or stab with her sword Kira, but it didn't happen.
No, fate had a different plan.
Indeed.
Definitely tempting fate.
Have you figured out why Killja showed up and said hey?
No.
I think someone in chat said that the first time he appeared, it was because someone messed with the house, with the door, like the knocking.
Yeah.
And like they say like, oh, now again the house was messed with the wires, and that's why he showed up. I don't know. I'm not on the like path
I mean,
yet,
that does make
but...
sense because technically Alfie was near like the door that was messed with because it was the broom closet.
Yeah.
And that's where he appeared.
Yeah.
And then I guess like with her voodoo dolls, they like burnt up, and then he just kind of appeared there.
Yeah.
Oh, that gives me an idea. Okay. Well, you won't know about it until next Monday.
That's true. So let's have a little outro of everyone. Tell us all about who you are, where we can find you, all that lovely jazz. We will start, I think, with Sesha and Kat, and feel free to hot potato it on.
Yeah. So my name is Kat. I'm a variety creative caster, and I just finished doing some like Rust roleplay, and I've been playing Cult of the Lamb, which is probably like my favorite game in the world now, because it's like that's all I want to do is play Cult of the Lamb every single day.
Very fun game.
24/7.
Few issues, but
I've been running it too. Like I think my last stream was like 9 hours or something of it, just straight.
very playable.
It's very, very fun. I like sacrificing people. I love stirring chaos. You know, that kind of fun stuff. So if you're into that and sowing chaos, then follow me on Twitch. It is I'm Cat, and on Twitter is I'm Cat Cat. And again, I play Sesha, your favorite. I don't know what you would call her. Cool jokester, prankster. And I will hot potato it to her best friend in the world, Nell.
Oh.
Like, you could have said either one of us, and it would have been completely right
Yeah,
there.
exactly. It would have been one of you, and I could get away with like saying either one of you with that.
Basically. Hi, I'm Syrinx. I've been playing Nell, or Eleanor, the not so smart but very strong cookie. And you can find me as Syrinx on Twitter and Instagram, and I play other TTRPGs. The only one right now streaming is, again, still the French Revolution Vampire game that streams every Sunday on Twitch. And I will hot potato it to my nerd in arms.
Not nerd in arms.
I love the
nerd in
jock
servitude.
nerd thing.
Nerd in nerditude.
It's not servitude, all right? It's
Only 'cause
mutual
she doesn't
benefit.
realize that the jock went, hey, nerdy kid, come and do my homework.
Do my math homework.
Pretty much. Yeah.
That cracked me up.
Hi, I'm Vandy. I play Alfie, and yeah, you can find me at OMG Vandy everywhere. I'm occasionally streaming some like Atlas RP stuff. And I work for a company called The Game Hers, and our Game Hers nominations are open, and they're open until this Friday. So if you want to nominate somebody for excellence in gaming, then be sure to do that on our website, which is thegamehers.com. So yeah.
Oh yeah. And I'm Sheepdog. I run the Wandering Inn. This is the Wandering Inn. If you like these wonderful people, you can find links below in the Twitch, in the YouTube, and you can go and follow them and give them some look and some love and some luxury. Why not? I was looking for a third L, and I was like, probably the best choice. So, that's us for tonight, I'm afraid. We're going to go to the outro, and then, you know, we'll be back next week, next Monday, for more Mage. And I can tell you, there's more coming up. Other things, other projects, other shows. Even though the Friday show isn't locked in as a permanent feature, I have plans for other things. So, you know.
Always plotting.
Yeah, essentially the Friday show is based upon my own whims and unfortunate brain lightnings. So if I have an idea, I'm just going to be like, I'm going to do that on the Friday for a while. And yeah. So, thank you for watching, everyone. Appreciate you coming out to watch, and we will see you next Monday.